Ron Nicoletti along with Katie Stazak. It's Gulfstream today. Don't adjust your dials. It is Tuesday. We got our special week, 4th of July week, holiday racing this week. And we have the Rainbow Six was hit the other day with a mandatory payout, paid $30,000. We're going to start the Rainbow Six again today. There you see it, races 3 to 8. And we got those mandatory payouts again, both in the Rainbow Six, in the Pick 5, and in the Super High 5. And Katie, as I mentioned, we got a special holiday week of racing. And boy, you see Tuesday, today, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 o'clock post. Saturday, 4th of July, 12:45. But I'm going to let you tell them about Sunday with that 12:30 post. That's going to be one exciting day.
It is Summit of Speed Day. We are going to have 9 stakes races, 4 of them graded, including the Smile Sprint and the Princess Rooney, both grade 2s, and both a Breeders' Cup win and you're in races. We have horses shipping in from all over the country, our best local sprinters, and it's going to be one heck of a day.
Yeah, we got some of the top riders in the country. There you see it. What a good day it's going to be. And we have a special jockey here going to be signing autographs that day and riding.
Yeah, you might have heard of him. He just won the Triple Crown. That would be Victor Espinoza. He's going to be coming in, riding the Summit of Speed card. We're so excited to have him here in South Florida. He's going to be signing autographs, like you mentioned. And we're also going to be welcoming back Javier Castellano, our leading rider here in the winter for the past 4 seasons. He's going to be right at home here as well.
Well, we're going to take a look at Tuesday's card, but before you do that, we're going to see what's been trending and tweeting around the country over the last day since we seen you last, which was on Sunday.
Let's update you on the national news. Speaking of the Triple Crown winner, American Pharaoh, had his first breeze back since winning the Belmont Stakes yesterday. You see Ahmed Zayat, his owner, saying he's happy, going back to what he's loved. He breezed very well. I think they're very happy with it, and now we just got to wait to see where he goes next.
Yeah, our next one is a deer problem. And I don't mean a deer girlfriend. I mean deer, actually. You see them running along the horses there at Presque Isle Downs, and they actually canceled the racing today.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Good
dear.
one.
We have a deer problem. This is one that I've never heard of, a little bit unusual, but the deer are running onto the racetrack up at Presque Isle in Pennsylvania. They've had to cancel some racing, and they've actually asked the State Department to help them out and figure out how to solve this issue. So hopefully they get back to racing soon, and that deer problem goes away.
Another one we want to tell you about is a sale coming up.
Yeah, well, Fasig-Tipton is having their July sale, and they've produced some pretty nice horses from that sale. One of them, a Bird at the Wire, who swept 2 of our grade 2 events for 3-year-old fillies this year. That was the Forward Gal and the Gulfstream Park Oaks. Pretty impressive. Maybe we can get the next Bird at the Wire out of that sale this year.
Yeah, well, that's what's trending around the country. Now we're going to delve into this special Tuesday card. We have 8 races. We have a fast main track. We have a firm turf course. And we're going to start our first race on the turf, 5 furlongs, maiden claimants, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $12,500. We have a clean slate with no jockey changes or scratches to report in here. Katie, you went with the number 5, A Woman with Pants. I went a little different way. Let's hear why you went with the 5 horse in here.
I'm going to give her another chance. This one has been knocking on the door and has really performed at her best at this level and distance. In her 2 previous tries, turf sprinting for this tag, she finished 2nd, and that's the only time she's hit the board in her 5-race career. I just thought she was well spotted today. She's really due for that breakthrough victory, but I can understand why you went in a different direction because we have given her chances before.
Yeah, I went with the 2 Wall. Was hoping to save a little more for the stretch time this time out. You look at its last race, set fractions of 21-3, 44-3, before getting caught late and settling for 3rd, was only beaten 2 3/4 lengths at this level and distance. Antonio Sano lightens the impost. He's got 5-pound apprentice, and who's going to be our leading rider at the spring meeting? Tyler Gaffleone in the saddle. So I just went with the speed play in the opener, thinking, well, who disappoints sometimes still by stopping in the stretch? A Woman with Pants in 2nd, and we both have, you actually have the 6, who's currently favored up there 3-2 early in the wagering. A Breezy Song, you have that horse in 2nd, I have it in 3rd.
Gotta love the connections from the Stanley Gold Barn. Took a substantial class drop to this level last time out and finished a solid 3rd. She was just a neck from 2nd, and it was her turf sprinting debut, so she can really build off of that today.
Yeah, I think she'll run well in there, and that's Breezy Song, Stanley Gold. You mentioned Juan Leyva will be in the saddle this afternoon. Well, we're going to take a short little break and come back in just a minute to look at the rest of the Tuesday card. Girls Got Game. That'll be this weekend. Katie will be involved in that. Let's take a look, Katie, at our second race today. 1 mile claimer, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 2 races in life, or 3-year-olds, $6,250. 8 runners in the field. Once again, no scratches or jockey changes to report. And we both went with the number 2 in here, Starship Lisa.
We've got the exacta here run. Starship Lisa is from the Alejandro Maimo barn. She's going to look for back-to-back wins after drawing up to an easy 5 1/4 length score last time out. Was at this level and the distance. So running for identical conditions today, she kind of exploits the conditions here. As a 3-year-old, she's able to be a multiple winner and has a clear advantage. So I think she's just going to continue to keep doing what she's been.
Yeah, she likes that 1 mile distance. You see it there. She has 6 races at the distance with 2 wins in 2 seconds. So not only is she fit the conditions perfectly, she likes the distance. Second horse we both have in our exacta, as Katie mentioned, is Berry Blitz. This one moved to the Antonio Sano barn via the claim. Tracked the action last time out. Settled for second behind aforementioned Starship Lisa. The new connections today to have Edgar Zayas to handle the rematch. So maybe they can exchange positions this time out. But I'm thinking an exacta box might be the way to go.
I think that's a great idea. We'll see if she can turn the tables. But I like the new connections. Trainer Antonio Sano, he's been sharp first off the claim, winning at a 27% right now in that category.
Well, you went with the number 4 and 3rd, and that's Me Pechon.
I think she can be better at making her second start back off a layoff. She was off for 8 months, returned to finish 3rd at that level. Pretty solid, and she won her lone start at a mile. Who else did you use?
I used the 8 Flashy Holiday, who's stretching out to this 1-turn mile we've been talking about. Chased the pace last time out, weekend versus similar, going 6 furlongs. That was her first race since returning from Churchill Downs. The trainers Ronnie Werner, Tyler Gaffalione, quartering the stretch out in distance. I think this horse is reacclimated, got a race over the track. Going to stretch out to this 1-turn mile, might be able to do something. Let's go to race number 3 today, and as we mentioned, this is where the Rainbow Six starts this afternoon with an 8-race card, and we got a 6.5 furlong sprint. These are claimers. They're fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, non-winners of 3 races in life, or a race in 6 months. That's December 30th, and boom, put a stamp in it. We got it exactly right here. I actually like the horse you have on top. This is my single in the Rainbow Six today. Tell me why you like her.
I could see why it's your single. She's looking for a 3rd straight victory today for trainer Efren Loza Jr. Followed up her maiden breaking score up at Tampa Bay Downs with a neck victory at this level on May 16th. And I just thought that was a superb job by trainer Efren Loza Jr. He spotted her in that race to accommodate for the competition difference between here and Tampa, and she won again. She's on a hot streak. She's a horse with confidence and well spotted again today.
Yeah, she's a red-hot daughter of First Samurai, and certainly looks like the one to beat. And we mentioned just a race ago, Tyler Gaffalione has the leading riding title sewed up. In Florida, the state of Florida, the last day of the year, the fiscal last day of the year is June 30th, which is today. Our meet ends today. We start another one on July 1st, so congratulations to him. There's no one catching him.
No, he's winning. I think he has about a 23-win cushion above the second leading rider, so I think it's safe to say he's got that one in the bag.
Number 1, Spanish Concert, who won her only previous race over the Gulfstream main track, returns to action after ending her 2-race campaign up at Tampa. She dueled for the lead in that race. She weakened to finish 3rd. That was against $25,000 open claimers, going 6.5 furlongs. It was back on April 19th. Trainer Kathleen O'Connell, really good with the 61 to 180-day freshening. Has Eduardo atop this, a speedy daughter of Concerto, who should be, I believe, major part of the pace scenario, breaking from that inside post position.
Another who's very well spotted, and like you mentioned, she won her only previous start here, so we'll see if she can respond to returning to this track.
And we both have the number 5, Berry Cherry Candy, in 3rd.
I think she should sit the trip in here.
Yeah.
It seems to really set up well for her. She's going to cut back to a sprint today. For the first time since last April, she's a perfect 2 for 2 at this distance.
Yeah, and I love that angle. I got that in my analysis too. She loves 6.5 furlongs. Not a distance you see an awful lot, but we do run it here at Gulfstream Park, and she's never been beaten at that distance. So both of us are going with 1, 6, 1, and 5 to kick off the Rainbow Six in, and as I mentioned, that's when I singled the 6 in there, so I could go deeper in some of these other races in the Rainbow Six sequence. We're going to to the turf course for our fourth race of the afternoon. 1 mile, claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $10,000. Scratch the 11 and scratch the 12 horse. And they have both main track only participants in here. And we have our top 2 flip-flop. I went with the 3 Tex Appeal on top, dropping to the $10,000 level, stretching out today to a mile in the first start since rallying to finish fourth. That was against $16,000 optional claimers, going 5 furlongs on the grass. But if you look at a previous route race here on the grass back on March 20th, she set the pace. She finished third. It was a good performance, and that was against $20,000 claimers going a mile in the 16th. So I'm seeing that she can handle the distance here. Thus, I put this horse on top of my ticket. You went with the logical horse, I think, on paper, and that's for Starship Jody.
These two were such a toss-up for me. I really went back and forth between first and second, I think 3 times. I ended up giving the edge to Starship Jody just because of her form. She's won 2 of her last 3. Going to look to make it 2 in a row today. Drew off to a 1 3/4 length score on June 7th. She's a 6-time winner over the Gulfstream Park turf course and could have her things her way on the front end.
Yeah, I really did think that on paper that she was the one to beat in there. You know, I got a little cute, went with the 3 Tex Appeal, but I'm thinking an exact the box right there and using both these horses, both on your Rainbow 6 and the pick 5, which starts here. In third, I used the 7 Defying Gravity, who's stretching out and stepping up after rallying from far back. This horse was 11th and last, comes flying at the end to beat $8,000 condition claimers going 7.5 furlongs, and I believe she'll be there to pick up the pieces if early pace gets hot and heavy in here. That was a pretty nice performance, albeit against easier than they're going to face today, but she closed from far back.
Sky Blue and Black is another who's going to face open company for the first time today, but she's also going to look for back-to-back wins. Got up for a half-length victory on June 11th. She's also won 2 of her last 3, and I think she's unquestionably at her best at this distance. We'll see if she can keep up the form.
We're going to go back to a fast main track for race number 5, which kicks off our final pick 4 on the afternoon. It's 6 furlongs. Claim is 3 and up, $6,250. And we want to go back and show you horses in fine form right now. And that is the 7 today, the 5 that day, Podoshan.
I think this horse might be my single, especially with the way he ran last time out. He opens a 2.5 length lead at the top of the stretch, and he's going to go on to draw up by more than 4 lengths at the wire. This was his 3rd win in his last 4 starts. He really responded with a return to the 6 furlong distance last time out, also an addition of blinkers. I think he'd be on a 3-race win streak had he not tried a mile 2 starts back. I think it was just too far for him, and I think he's tough to beat under these conditions.
Yeah, you mentioned the distance, 5 starts, 3 wins in the 3rd, so loves this 3/4 of a mile distance. We both have the 5 Feels Like Flying in 2nd. This one is turning back to 3/4 of a mile after following his $6,250 condition claiming victory at this distance with a duel for the lead in week in 5th place finish against this level of competition. That was going 7 furlongs. I think the turn back is going to help this horse, but I think this horse is going to need to fly to catch Podoshan in here.
Completely agree. The turn back should definitely suit him. We'll see if he can catch Podoshan.
Well, I went with the number 6 in your Contrip, and you went with the number 1 in here, Smoking the Field. They're both from the Gilberto Zerpa barn, and I'm wondering why you used that one and I used this one.
Well, my concern with this one is that he's returning on just 6 days rest, but he really just had some great form earlier in the spring, and I'm hoping he can return to that a little bit. He made a 4-wide bid to get up, was just nosed out for 3rd, but again, coming back off short day's rest. Tell me about the other Zerpa horse.
Well, I just said he's turning back to its most accomplished distance. Had 11 races at the distance, 3 wins, 2 seconds in the 3rd. First start since setting the pace and fading. That was in a pair going a mile. It was back in April and May. Edgar Zayas certainly made me look the other way, but I was torn between these two and went with one or the other. But you know the old adage of the longer price of the uncoupled entry somehow managing to win. So watch the board and make your bet. Oh, even better, use both of them.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea to me.
Let's go to race number 6 this afternoon, and this one is 1 mile on the turf. It's an allowance optional claimer, 3-year-olds, $75,000. Scratch the 7, 8, and 9, which leaves us with a field of 6 in here. And Katie wants to show you the performance of Crown the Kitten back from May 31st in an optional claimer at the $75,000 level.
Well, take a look at Crown the Kitten here. He's the 2, and he gets forced so wide in this race and then really has to make a run. He's not going to get the win, but he's going to run a nice second. And what I liked about this race is take a look at the horse that finishes just behind him. That's Black Martino. Black Martino has been running really well and was just second in a stake here a couple weeks ago. I like that performance and think he's well spotted today for Wesley Ward. 2 back, he was the winner by more than 4 lengths with a cleaner trip. I thought he deserved the top spot.
Yeah, I believe that he's the one to beat in there. I went with a horse that, Two-Step Temper was trained sharply over the track in preparation for the first start since finishing 5th, was beaten a little over 4 lengths. It was in the $60,000 Black Gold going 7.5 furlongs. It was at the fairgrounds February 28th. So sort of a guess here. I'm going off the workout pattern, but I like the connections. Of course, it's trainer Mike Maker. He's good with this type of layoff, and he's got leading jockey Tyler Gaffleone atop this lightly raced, the son of Two-Step Salsa. And, Ford, Crown the Kitten, strictly the one to beat in there. But Two-Step Temper, I've learned in the past, Mike Maker coming off the layoff, you want to use him on your ticket, so I put him on top in there. Crown the Kitten for all the reasons Katie mentioned. And in third, you used my horse, but you have the second. You have Semblance of Order. And I was really torn where to put this horse, and you put it right in second.
Yeah, I was too. I think the 3 that we have are the top 3 horses in this race, and we'll see how they perform. Semblance of Order, he's going to return to the grass for the first time since he broke his maiden here on May 2nd. Not only has he run better on the turf, but he's bred better for the turf as he's a son of Arch. He was well beaten 5th last time out, but he was on the dirt. He was facing winners for the first time. I think he can rebound today in the spot.
Yeah, trained by Jenna Antonucci, ridden today by Edgar Zayas, and handling that surface switch this afternoon. Total agreement. I would box these 3 in some different order. I think that's the logical way to go in there, and probably push come to shove, the 4 is the one to beat in there by Wesley Ward. But you can't leave Mike Maker out, as we just said.
No way.
We're going to go to race number 7 this afternoon. 5.5 furlongs claimers. They're 3-year-olds and upward. They're non-winners of 2 races in life or 3-year-olds. We do have a jockey change on the number 1 in here. Make the rider Jonathan Gonzalez. I went with the 8 horse, and so did Katie, and that's Sparky B.
Taking a slight turn back in distance today, and I think that's really going to help this horse. He dueled on the lead last time out, and then he faded to third, going 6.5 furlongs. That was on June 20th, like Ron mentioned earlier. It's not a distance that we see a whole lot, but we do run it here, and it just might have been a touch too far for him. He broke his maiden at this distance by more than 8 lengths. Tyler Gaffleone, we've talked about him. He was aboard for that win. He's going to get back aboard today.
Boy, he's on an awful lot of good horses today, so we'll see how Tyler Gaffleone ends the meet, which ends today. I used the 4, Casanova Way, in second. Katie used it in third. This one moved to the Antonio Sanobon via the claim after the useful return from that 6 week freshening in which he vied for the lead. And he finished a week into that race. He finished 5th at this level in distance. We mentioned Antonio Sano just before. He's good first off the claim. He's over 27%. Edgar Zayas in the saddle, so I thought a logical horse to be on the ticket, and so did you by putting it in third. I had it in second, but I can understand number 7 and El Grantito being in second.
Well, he's finished second in each of his last 2 starts. Seemed like a good place to put him. He was only beaten ahead at this distance last time out on June 6th, but he's going to need a little bit of pace to run at.
Yeah, he likes to come from the clouds in this race, so we'll see how he does. He's a late striding type, and he rallied last time out from 8 lengths off the pace, but he needs that pace scenario, as Katie mentioned. So we're going to wrap up this special Tuesday card on this special holiday week with an 8th race, and it is 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Claim is 3 and up, non-winners of 3 races in life or a race in 6 months. Scratch the main track only participant, number 11. We're all set, and I went with the number 5 horse in here, Golden Jason, and I will start with that horse. This one is dropping to this $25,000 level after showing early interest and weakening in back-to-back turf outings against 62,500 optional claimers. It's a 5-year-old son of Kitten's Joy, and I think he's really spotted for success in the nightcap today on the drop in competition.
Well, Ron, we've been in pretty much agreement throughout this Rainbow Six sequence until now. I think we found and identified a couple horses that you could single. Here's where you save that and you go deep in this race. I gave the edge to Eduardito, and we got a video to show of his last race that I want to show you because I think it really shows why he can improve here. He really didn't have anywhere to go last time out at the quarter pole. He just is sitting there. A bunch of horses are getting the jump on him, and he's just stuck behind a wall. He's going to have to either find an opening, which he eventually does, but it's just a little bit too late. He's going to end up finishing second, less than 2 lengths behind the winner. If he might have gotten the jump on that other horse, who knows where he would have finished. I don't know if he would have won, but he might have been even closer. He won his previous 2 starts for trainer Gustavo Delgado, broke his maiden, and then won his first start against winners. So he's been very consistent. That's why I had to put him on top here. You also have him on the ticket.
Yeah, I was just concerned a little bit about the 7.5 furlong distance, because he's run longer in the races you were just showing and everything like that. But someone you definitely got to have on your ticket. I used the number 6 horse in here, Tiger Bourbon, who shortened up slightly today to 7.5 furlongs after dueling throughout and getting beat only 1.5 lengths versus this level of competition. That was going a mile. Jose Garofalo's the trainer. Eddie Castro doling out his speed. I think this guy is the speed play in here. I don't know if he has to be on lead, but he will be in the first flight and can get lucky at the 7.5 furlong distance.
Another consistent horse that I wouldn't be surprised seeing run very well in this race again. Go deep here. Another horse that I used was Hard Enough, which this race is definitely hard enough. He took the lead into the stretch, got caught at the wire against $30,000 claimers last time out. Thought he just finds a good spot. He's run with a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and you have the 4 in your ticket too, and that's Gone as Wind. And I also have the 3 all cashes with my long shots today. So tell us about the 4 Gone is as Wind, and I will tell you a little bit about the number 3 in here.
All right, well, Gone as Wind from the Efren Loza barn. I mentioned how great he is at spotting horses. This is going to be his turf debut, so a little bit of a question mark there. But he's finished 3rd in each of his last 2 starts at this level. Thought he's been running well. We'll see if he can hold that form as he tries a new surface today. As a son of Smart Strike, he has a little bit of a grass pedigree, and I think he's been asking for more ground, so the distance might suit him. But again, question marks. Ron, tell me about your long shot
Well, my
today.
long shot today, okay, so I just think this horse is sitting on a winning performance in here, and he's going to sit a real nice trip in the race. So we've mentioned 7 different horses in this race, and that's why Katie was telling you that it's got to be, you got to go deep in this last one. I think it's pretty wide open.
Absolutely, and it's a great super high 5 race today, so you're going to have to pick them in order too, and we've given you plenty of options.
Yeah, and we got the mandatory payout in that race today too, in the super high 5. So, you try and get it done. They nail it all the time. They do an excellent job with the super high 5. Well, that's how we see this special Tuesday card. We'll be back here a little later on throughout the day, but tomorrow we have another day of racing on Wednesday and Thursday, and then you saw the schedule. The big weekend kicks off Friday, Saturday, and of course, Summit of Speed on Sunday with 9 stakes races.
Make sure you mark your calendars. We have a different schedule this week with some different post times, so make sure you don't miss a thing. Write it down.